Hello everyone and welcome back to the kingdom. So last time we did our first part of the tree farm, and one of those things you always do a huge amount of work and you just carry on doing it and designing stuff and making it, and sometimes it takes someone else's opinion and sort of insight to look at it and go, actually why did you do this, and you look at it yourself and you go, why did I do that? And one of those times happened last time with this bottom floor. This doesn't really do anything because each time it moves up 1, it would have to move up 6 to actually have any difference at all. So that was my mistake there. So I do need to make it so that this line of wood comes from here, then gets reset for the pushing distance, and then pushed across again to a big panel here, so that I can get a sort of maximum sized grid of wood, and then I'll be happy. I even said no, I'll take this over efficiency. Because of that, no, it's done now. But then it niggles at me and you think, oh, it could just be better. So we're going to change that now, and I'll be back when it's changed. And a load of work later, and it's changed. Okay, so the problem before was that it moved over, and then if I moved them up, the bottom layer would be free, but then the 6 layers above that would have wood in it. So the new 6 sort of stack coming in, only the bottom one would get pushed across, therefore the one bit in there got stuck. So I'm just going to change it so that it actually pushes it twice, but actually just better to go through here and show you manually. So this is, I'm quite pleased how this actually fits in quite tightly. So let's have a look. The wood comes from that bit as normal. I've got furnaces, a lot of places to stop things being pushed too far. The wood comes to here, and this wood track coming from this bit is on the normal timer from when the actual farm activates. The farm activates, then this one pushes always. There's not a detector on this one at all. And then let's have a look. So that signal comes down from that side there. You see this a little bit here, and this bit will only happen when this is in sort of gathering up wood mode rather than creeper mode. So that signal comes down to here, comes around the bottom bit, comes up here and activates this piston row here. So when that one goes, then this one goes a tick afterwards, enough time for the wood to be pushed across. So that bit is all automated. So that comes across to there, and then this one goes, and then when it gets to here, then it's now on the sensor, like so, and that will push the whole stack across as soon as it comes to here. I was leading it off of this bit and then leading off that bit, but I was playing around with this, and I shouldn't really have done it this close, because no, we're moving from there, moving the wood strip to here. So to then get the full use of the pushing length, so this can push 12, so it can push up to here and then 12 that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12, like so. That's the maximum it can push. You can't push any more than that. So to get this bit in here to be the maximum length, so this is actually should be, is it 11 or 12? Any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 11. So this one goes across 11 because the maximum is 12. So yeah. So it's going to push that, and then when it gets to this bit here, maximum you can have here is 11. And to get that, you need your piston to be right next to the one it pushes into. So this is the last block it pushes into, then the whole thing moves over. But because I got this thing behind it, on the back, the redstone actually interferes, so that the redstone comes onto here to activate this big wall of pistons here, then go into these pistons at the end and also make them push. So if I just get a piece of wood to demonstrate, that piece of wood goes there. Say that's coming across a whole strip going up there, and I go back here and turn off this sensor. That pushes it forward and also pushes this one across. So that one comes to here, and this sensor then pushes it to here. So that's not really, that's the way around it. So that this had to be a sensor, otherwise if this wasn't a sensor and plugged up to a timer, then this would push here, as that pushed it there, and then this one would push out every now and then this one also push the whole stack again, and then this wouldn't go until the next one when it will get backed up in this bit here. So this sensor really helps. So yeah, it's now a 11 by 6 maximum by 12, and the point being that well, it can be 13 I guess if it pushes one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's maximum size that way. It can be up to 6 tall because the maximum size tree for the farm is 6 high. It's a very rare thing. Most things come through a 4. So the minimum in here, it will be 4 by 12 by 11. Yeah, 4 by 12 by 11 is minimum. And if there are some taller trees in there, so a few 5s or a few 6s, they'll be in the top of that as well. And it's glowstone on the top, so that when this wood is all sort of up high, there's enough light up there to stop mobs from spawning. I didn't really consider that last time. So yeah, that's a big improvement. And I'll show you the wiring underneath. It's vastly different from before. And I've been testing with bone meal, and I've been getting my bone meal currently from my spider spawners, using the 100 chance of getting a spider jockey. So there's a lot of hours of AFKing there while I do some other things to get the bones to test this. So basically there's no wiring under this whole bit at all, just the sensor from the other one going across, and that's it. There is no piston arrays, there's no wiring under here, so basically that's cut out quite a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Now I can start designing the part to move, well, to get the creepers in and pushing some wood out and stuff, but that's going to take a lot of planning now. So I'm going to go away in a creative world for quite a few days probably and work that out to something I'm happy with. And then I'll come back. Okay, so it's been over a week since that last clip. We're now on 1.6.2 and I really haven't had much time to deal with this problem of this automatic exploding wood thing. I've been really busy with real life stuff. I'm getting ready to move in a couple of weeks. I'm finishing my placement. I've got things to report on and everything else because of that. So I haven't really had the time to sit down and really grind out all the details of this design I wanted to do. And I feel like it's really holding me up from actually doing some more episodes. I kind of got fixated on trying to finish this before I move on to it. But I did kind of plan out a whole load of it. Just not enough to actually build it in this world. So I'm going to show you the kind of principles behind what I was planning, and we're still going to make a mob spawner here today to get enough bone meal to actually keep this thing going, because I'm not going to need a huge amount of wood, and the automation part of the exploding it was really only for fun. I think though for more fun I'll probably use TNT sometime to blow up the wood, but for now I don't really have the time to make this whole system work. And also 1.6.2 we have mini zombies that spawn naturally, so it does change a few things in there as well. So I'm going to show you the things now, and then we'll get on with building an actual mob spawner here for some bone meal. Okay, so the first part of it would be to manipulate the wood into the correct position so the creeper could blow it up. And I've been playing with this quite a lot. Now I'm saying I didn't have much time to do this, so I probably spent maybe 15 hours plus trying to work these things out, coming with different systems, looking at different ways of doing it, and seeing if I want to get it in my world. So I'm playing with all sorts of different things, like different bud switches. So this is a little bud, and another bud here, pushing it, and another sideways bud that we're playing around with. Now wood comes in, there's different ways of moving it around. You can get a maximum of 6 high, so here's going to push it along, and different ways of manipulating it, different ways of doing stuff with it. So to get into some sort of system, what we really want is some sort of cradle. That my idea was anyway, just a cradle like that, where the creeper would sit in the middle and blow up, and then this pattern would keep repeating and be pushed into the same sort of area. The creeper would blow up, these things would be destroyed, fall down to some water, and then carry on being replaced. Now, to get that working, it's actually quite complex. There's different ways of doing it. I've got things like this, just little bud again, and different ways of doing that. To manipulate the wood, most designs that use some sort of really big refilling system like this, they're all designed off farms that have a sort of a vertical tree, which then when you grow the tree, it will then get sort of sand or gravel, pushing the wood all the way up, and then you have a pusher, which then push it sideways and manipulate it as a long snake. Now, they're really easy to start putting into systems to fill up stuff and everything else. but they are very, very, very slow compared to this sort of design I made already. So if I wanted to make that some sort of snake that's really easy to manipulate, no, just move somewhere else, I'll need to put a sand system somewhere at some point, or a really huge radical load of pistons, which take a very long time to process the wood like that. So really you only want to process it as it's moving along, so each step you manipulate it one step or move it around something. So this thing here would have moved it all down one and then keep moving it around. Didn't really come as any use. And this is another bud switch here, and this is quite funny because this is weird. No, this bud switch, it affects anything that activates this piston. Just updates it, makes it sort of remember it's turned on. But if you have something here, doesn't turn on. Something there doesn't turn on. Something there doesn't turn on. If you actually update any of them, then they turn on. But then this is not actually touching it. It's like the actual particles that are touching it are affecting this. So that's absolutely bizarre. That I've never seen that before myself. But yeah. So I came up with a way of getting this to work with a 3 high load of wood, because really we're up to 6 high. Very rarely 6 high, normally 4 or 5. So when you come through, I can manipulate 3 high. That's easy. They come through like this, move along like this, and I got a way of sorting it so that you would have a cradle. So knock this out and give it a look at this. So this is just a whole load of sensors. So when the wood gets to the end here, it then activates these 3 pistons. They come along to here, and then it's a timer up here such that when this wood moves to here, it will then move to here, be pushed down to here, and then be pushed all along to there. So it moves from this height to this height, which is the same height as the cradle that I want to have here. That's what I wanted, going on to some sort of obsidian cage such that the creeper would fall in, explode, and then the wood would just keep coming in again and again and again. So I'll just give you a little look at this as the wood comes along. It's like so, you can see that going, which works fine until the creeper starts to do random explosions. So when the creeper starts to blow up, say it's in a cage here, such that it can't move on the sides, but it can fall in. Now, whatever way you want to ignite it, being aggressive for things, shooting at a player, well, a creeper being shot by a skelly to shoot a player, or the creeper just blowing up because you're in proximity to a player, anything else. If they blow up here, they might blow up this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, or something, just for instance. So when they come through, the wood isn't always uniform. It's not all getting exploded the same way. You can't really predict very well how much the creeper will take out. So when it comes to refill, it's going to keep coming through. Now this wood might be not needed as much. That might get to the end first before the rest gets refilled all the way. So when the wood keeps coming through the system, eventually it will keep coming to here, and then this bit here will get stuck, even though this bit up here could keep going through. So at that point it will just break the whole system and it wouldn't be very much fun. Now second problem is that what happens to the extra 3 high we can have coming through. Now you either send that to another system, so store it somewhere else like this. This will keep coming through. It should do. Okay, it's coming through this, but actually there we are. It's got pushes everywhere just testing this stuff. It's not really meant to be shown off. So this will send this through to a different sorter, just a different way of doing it along here. Makes it into this little cradle that I wanted, and the rest would come off to here. And this would probably come off to a storage system. Same sort of thing I showed you already this episode, and eventually that would fill up. So not really that automatic. Now also, they've tried to nerf, or at least they did break, the sticky keys macro function. So I can't actually show you on this because how I was doing it before, they broke the F10 function, so that didn't do a sticky key macro anymore. Now I was doing it before, which I don't really know they had actually tried to break that functionality. If you pressed F10 and then pressed F11 as it was doing the action, it would then resize the window and then keep on doing the same sort of thing as the macro. That may have been a bug, and that may not work anymore at all. So doing the whole AFKing, growing stuff, and then getting creepers to explode it isn't really a feasible thing as much anymore. But I'm going to show you the mob sorter as well though, because that was really interesting. and I'll be right back. Okay, so this mob sorter is done by M Tandy. I'll link this in the description. This is a really nice little thing to have. This was designed for Minecraft 1.5 and it seems to be slightly broken 1.6, such that creepers are sorted out, that's fine, but then zombies and skeletons get kind of mixed together now. So basically the whole principle of this is mobs come down and then it filters out a first zombie into this bit into here. So I'm actually doing this manually because it's a little bit dodgy to get going. So you get one zombie into there. Now that makes all these start firing at this one zombie. Now anything that comes down now, doesn't matter what mob it is at all, creeper, zombie, skeleton, whatever, they come through and then those little tiny snow golems will then fight at the mob. Now what it was designed to be is the actual zombies meant to go into this hole here, and then the skellies meant to go to this one, and then the creepers, as they have no AI as such, or they're very silly, when they get hurt, as you'll see in this bit, they'll just keep on walking the direction that they were going. So they fall down to here, and then just keep going. So the creepers will go that way, and now we get zombies and skeletons all in one spot down here. So the idea would have been, this would have still worked, because we only want the creepers to be sorted out properly. You can sort the creepers out, they could go into a holding cell, you could put through one by one, that would be fine. And then all you need to do is grab one skelly from this side to then fire at the creepers, or you just be near the creepers and let them blow up just from player proximity, which would be fine. But yeah, there's a lot of work if I'm not actually going to do the whole automatic farm. But it's a really nice thing to show off, and I thought it'd be really cool to give you little guys a look. So that would have been the idea if I was going to go through with it all. But I think I can go on and do more projects. I might come back to this in future if I really want to. So anyway, we're going to go on now. I'm going to build a mob system. Actually, one creeper, one zombie went the right way that way, and another one. Sometimes they do, but not as reliable as they used to be. Little mini zombie go that way. There we are. He gets sorted out still. So off we go then to the actual world. Okay, so I should be ready to start building a nice mob trap here. Now, I've got a whole load of stuff into here and here and here and such, so I can make a nice sort of trap. Now I want to go with this whole colour scheme. Some of you really like this, and I really like it as well. The actual stone bricks with the actual sandstone, I think it looks quite nice, especially from sort of a long way away. So I'm trying to keep that theme as we go through this bit as well. Now I've got my usual specifications I have about any sort of farm I do, so that when the actual mobs come down, they're going to come through a sorter with the actual drops, so that I probably want chests facing this side, or have an extra platform there and have them sort of in that bit there. Probably the best way to do it. Yeah. Also, because we're on 1.6 and anything past 1.5, if mobs have feather falling boots, I still believe that they will affect their actual mob coming down. So I can't do a 23 high fall and then just get them killed from fall damage, because some of them might not die. Now I could use something like iron golems or lava on the way down or something to kill them, or I could just make the height even taller. So where I want the actual drops to be sorted down here, the killing platform will be a few blocks on top of that, and then I want the actual mobs to be spawned right at the top and then work downwards from that. Then they'll fall and die from maybe a 30, 40 full height. Could be really cool. Another thing I want to be able to do is turn it on and off manually. So I've got lava buckets in here, so I want a system so that I can just activate some redstone. Could be all the way down there maybe in future, but from here, it's be here at the moment. Turn the whole thing on and off, so the lava will come down, light up all the pads, and turn the system off. Now I probably want to be doing something slightly similar to what I did on the Hermitcraft server, with pistons and just doing little tripwires between them. But I'll do quite a nice big grid formation to get a quite big surface area, because I'm not looking to gather up the mobs in one place. I'm just looking for mass spawning, and they fall down and they die. And I'm going to have a nice big grid at the bottom where they can fall and die on top of. So I'm going to start planning that out, and I'll be back to you for a little update. Okay, so this is how it's looking at the moment. I'll go up there and show you the plan, but first of all, down here, I wanted the whole thing to kind of look okay from the outside, so I don't really want chests and things up here to collect drops in. So I made a little ladder down here, clean this up a little bit, and got some storage down here. These will just fill up mass stuff, so maybe 2 for bones, 2 for gunpowder, like 2 sort of towers of them, so 6 double chests for one, 6 for next, maybe 1 of arrows, sort of 1 stack, and what else do you get from them? 1 from arrows. There isn't really much else really from, and then maybe have 1 for sort of random armor bits maybe, and I don't know, just extra stuff anyway. I have to put a load here just for safety, because if it overflows I don't really want it to get wasted, but I do have an overflow built in as well. Same sort of thing as my witch overflow design, so that comes into an extra chest if they all get filled up. But to be honest, I'm not going to have this on too much because I only need bones from it. I'm not really interested in gunpowder. I have enough down from the witch farm anyway. So what I'm going to be using is lava to turn the whole thing on and off. It's not really a normal thing that I do, turning mob traps on and off. I did my last world, but generally you won't see this happen on too many mob farms. So I'm actually using a modified version of the one I used in Hermitcraft, and that was a modified version of the one used for my previous gold farm in my first Let's Play world. And this is going to be quite fun because I will show very quickly in creative world as well, but I've started building this up. So actually we'll go up to the very top. So at the very top of the world I have this. This is the top building block. I can't do any higher than this. I've got dispensers on here with lava in, as you see the lava going down, and they're going to be placed along like so. Now when they are dropping the lava, there will be enough light coming from that source so that any of the pads up until here are all lit up enough so no spawning happens, and the same the other side as well. So it's basically one of these and then 5 spawning spaces on either side for both bits, so 20 on each row. And we'll go back down. So what happens here, I've got kind of a staircase of pistons. So what I have first of all, actually it's best to look on this bit here in the middle because of the pattern it's going to have. Everyone that isn't an outside shelf kind of thing will be like this. So just a tripwire with a piston on it with a platform, which then will have a tripwire front on that. So every single solid block in the system, apart from the outside ones, will have 2 tripwires, one on either side. So you can see from this bit, there's extra tripwires on there, and there's also tripwires on there. So that whole thing will be repeated all the way, and then reflected the other way and brought back again. So, actually not every single one, that block doesn't have tripwire on. So yeah, tripwire onto here, that goes to the block in the middle. Mobs fall down this middle shaft, same sort of thing as all my Enderman farm designs as well. They fall down through the hooks, there's no hitbox on them, that's fine. They fall down there. Now the next row, I've made it so that it's only 2 high. I could make it so that Enderman could spawn this as well, and I would get Enderman drops because they fall down there and they would die. Although this probably isn't, this shouldn't be high enough to kill them from fall damage. So they're going to make it too high here so that Enderman can't spawn deliberately. And spiders shouldn't spawn in here anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. So they just spawn and piston push them off. I tested this with the baby zombies as well, and the baby zombies are more than 1 high. They will activate tripwire still, so they won't break that. And that's basically how it's going to go. I'm probably going to go down a load of layers, probably leave still a 30 gap or something from the bottom, and just have this in the sky. And then what we're going to do is at the bottom, I'm going to have, well, I've got down here at the moment, a kind of a glass cage on the actual drop bit. Now this will just be a cage like this, and then maybe another one there, and another one there, and so on. And just a tiny little hopper to join together. All the rest will be nice glass cages around it, so the mobs fall, and they only go on to a few hoppers altogether. Just enough for the width of this, and nothing more. So save hoppers and lag for that. And wherever I've got lava, it's just basically cut out a slot from the system. So yeah, I think it would be okay showing you that. I'm going to show you on the creative world now. I think we'll keep building this, and once it gets a bit bigger, you can get that good idea of this. And also what I'm going to do is, instead of having some sort of, well, in theory I could come up here on a ladder and just come and turn it off manually. If I just push these buttons, I could just turn the lava off. Lava goes in. But what I wanted to do was have a little redstone circuit so that I would have a pillar up here somewhere, just with inverted redstone torches or something. So down there is a little button or a switch that will turn that lava on or off. I think would be the best way of doing it, and then I can see the lava come down. That's quite cool. But really, if I'm up here, there's no reason to have the actual traps off, unless all the things down there for mob drops are completely full up. But it's going to be quite fun to be able to turn the actual mob spawn off. So, I'm going to do a whole load more work now, and I'll be back in a little while. Okay, and here we are then. Progress as I like it. So that is the finished thing. It looks pretty good. I just need to put the whole massive roof over the top to make sure no light can get into it at all. But the pads are done. I think one of them may be 3 high still. I kind of derped up somewhere, but I find that sometime. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. And I've used up all my sandstone, so I've got to really finish now anyway. So let's turn the lava on. You can turn it to the off mode, so just lava comes down. Watch it come down for a second. Now down here, I decided not to do the glass all the way to the top. Because we're on a 1 wide farm, we're not doing a 2 wide. As soon as they get pushed sideways, their sort of sideways momentum gets reset as soon as they hit the other part of the actual plate on the other side, and they fall straight down. So they get stuck here. Now a few of them do live still because they get the actual enchanted feather falling boots, so that you do get a few down here now and then. And this little bit here so that I can catch them and then kill them. Now I could use iron golems or something as well to kill them off, but this lava turning on and off would kill the golems, and yeah. So let's wait for that to get down, show you it coming down completely, and then we'll go to a night time. We'll get to night time anyway, and we'll show you that. So I can just walk up here if I need to, just for looks really. It looks pretty good. Awesome. And I also got a ladder up the back here to go all the way to the top, and I think we might as well go up there and just give you a little show of how to turn the lava on and off. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So all it does is send a pulse up to here, extends this through a couple of ticks, turns this on, makes all of these just push against them. I could use anything else, I have to use these pistons, but they're just for fun. Signal goes in, signal goes out. It looks okay. And all this light up here is getting inside the trap at the moment, that's why it needs the roof all around the outside. It would just be all along a nice circle pattern. I have to make a nice sort of pattern to go around it, so it looks good from underneath, and then the rest would be glass. So yeah, it's getting to night time now. I'll just wait for a second, and then we get a nice little look at this in the night time. So just turn this off now. As you can see, all the lava gets trapped, doesn't go anywhere, doesn't spill. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so here we are then, in the night, and it's productive enough at the moment. As you can see, the mobs coming down. It's quite a decent rate for a sky trap, and it will get better when I make this whole sky bit actually covered up, as it's light on the top getting to the top 2 or 3 layers just from the glowstone. But yeah, it's working pretty well. I like it, and it's getting me a lot of wood from the bone mill. Some wood in here so far. Got that pretty much full as well again. Yeah, I like it. It's definitely doing well. Definitely doing well. Very pleased with this so far. Let's have a look down here. So yeah, this has just been emptied, but yep, a few bones in there. So underneath doesn't look too good at the moment. I may want to do some sort of underneath pattern here at some point, just so you can see it from underneath, but it doesn't look too bad though. But yeah, that is all that I have time for today. It's been a long time since I last posted a video, and this is why. I've been busy, been contemplating what to do with this episode, and been working. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Hope you find this a little bit fun, and hopefully we can do some more of these pretty soon. We'll start working on all the little individual bits of farms, and also putting in the gigantic storage system down there, which would be pretty cool to see. So guys, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.